I'm just gonna jump straight into it and say, motivation is hard. It can even become difficult when it's something you legitimately enjoy or something you really want to do. So you procrastinate. You scroll through social media or binge watch YouTube videos, all while having that creeping anxiety building up more and more, telling you there's other things that you need to be doing. I am far too guilty for this, as I'm sure most of you know. It's very easy to feel drowned in all the things that you're not doing, all the people you're not replying to, ironically making it even harder to get started on anything at all. But I have a battle plan that I would like to share. I know this won't always work, and you shouldn't pressure yourself to always be mega productive. You're human. Take your time and let yourself just exist. There's nothing wrong with not being productive, and you should enjoy those times while you can. But I'm talking about when things have been building up for a while, and are kinda starting to drive you crazy. So, a good starting step that I have found is to start by doing a little bit of something easy, like even something completely unrelated to what you need to do. You need to finish an assignment? Take some dirty dishes out of your room. You need to catch up on a lesson? Organize your desk area. It doesn't need to be related to the thing that you're procrastinating, but it does break you out of a slump just enough to make doing more seem achievable. More still, you've done something productive. That'll give you a little motivation boost to keep on going. And it'll make your future life a lot more easy. Next up, write down a simple to-do list. You can even write down a to-do list for just one of the things that you need to do. I'd actually advise that if it's a bigger task. Make sure that you have everything that you need to do written down in one place, and the to-do list for that one individual task written down elsewhere. That way, it's a lot more manageable. It's the equivalent of taking a big meal bite by bite, rather than panicking about not suddenly being finished the second it's put down in front of you. Or getting to the end of a marathon by taking one step after the other, not worrying about not already being at the finishing line before you've even crossed the starting line. During completing your to-do list, remember that striving for perfection actually prevents you from doing anything at all. Of course, it's good to care about what you do, but if you completely stop a machine, rather than just running it at half capacity, it's a lot harder to get it started again. It's harder to improve on work if you have nowhere at all to start from, you know? You can always go back over it once it's done, but you're not aiming for perfection at all, let alone during your first time doing it. Say, if you're trying to get a room tidy, start with the rubbish. Just things you can easily throw away. That's already so much tidier. Next up, clear more space by taking out some dirty dishes. That's more space cleared. If you can afford to leave them in or by the sink until you finish tidying, then do that. If not, you can leave them by the door and out of the way, ready to take out once you're finished with everything else. Then, pick up dirty laundry and put it all in one place. A chair or even the corner of the floor will do, just so long as it's all in the same place. Then your space is a lot clearer to start sorting through the smaller items, cleaning surfaces, and even organizing things. You don't have to worry about actually doing that laundry until everything else is done. You could leave it until the next day and still have a much tidier room, but do try to do it while you're still in the flow. Another example. Say you're trying to get an assignment done. Break it down in a similar way. Can't think of how to start? Deal with that later. Write down something that you can think of. You can add little notes to yourself, reminding you of where things should go. For example, if you're starting in the middle, or if you can only think of how you're going to conclude the whole thing. Even if you can't think of quite how to word something, word it in a roundabout way, and then neaten it up later. Edit the whole thing as much as you need to, but make sure you remember that it's better to have a finished assignment than no assignment at all because you're striving for perfection. People that insist on getting perfection from you may have good intentions, but they're being unrealistic. That amount of pressure is what got you here in the first place, no? Be kind to yourself, okay? You're doing great. Remember, you don't need to do everything at once. You can't do everything at once. All you can do is take things one step at a time. one foot in front of the other. You'll have crossed that finish line before you even realize. I understand that procrastination is a lot more difficult for some people than others. Trust me, I know. But that doesn't make you helpless. There's always something you can do to make your experience of rolling through life a little easier. Something that also helps me is working with someone else. Preferably someone that I'm used to, so I can feel comfortable in their silence, and they can feel comfortable in mine. Speaking of which, if you don't want to feel alone whilst you're having to work through something right now, or if you need a little bit of extra motivation to work, do you want to work with me as I do some editing and write a couple of scripts? Okay, here we go. Just need to stretch my back a bit. I was so deadly focused that I didn't even realise my posture was awful. Make sure to take breaks and check how your body's feeling. If you need to adjust in your seat, or if you need some water, more food, or if you need to stretch. But I'm pretty happy with how far I've gotten. I think I'm almost finished with this one. And I've been meaning to finish this for weeks. It doesn't seem like the longest script, but there's a lot of atmosphere sounds, so I don't know. I don't think I need to rely too heavily on dialogue. I'm pretty happy with it so far. And, as I said, I can always go back and edit it if and when I need to. All I'm trying to get down is a basic idea of how I want it to go. So, yes. Let me see. Here we go. My poor back. Alright. Jeez. Okay. I finished at least the first draft of a script for an audio that I've been meaning to finish for weeks. So I'm pretty happy with that. And now I shall get myself a fresh glass of water and either take a nap or get started on editing / recording this. So yes, thank you for joining me on doing all of this, and I hope it helped. I hope anything from this audio will have helped you. If not, that's okay too. Different things for different people. I understand that completely. But all I can ever do is hope to help. And worst case scenario, this actually got me through finishing the script for an audio. So more content. But yes, that is it for this little audio. And I hope you're all taking care of yourselves. Mwah. Love you guys.